Fear and Hunger is a game, a really great and complex game that I've talked about on this channel once before already, like 7 months ago, I think it was, like when I first started my channel. It was my first video ever, and because of that, I don't think I did the game the justice it truly deserves. The video was made out of pure passion and love for the game, but technical wise, it was dog shit. Pure ass. I mean, that video was terrible, man. The editing was horrible, audio mixing was horrible. It was just terrible all around. So here I am again to better explain the game and do my usual ranting of how much I love it, because I've also gotten around 100 more hours into the game than what I had then, and I'm more experienced overall just with YouTube and editing and shit like that. So let's dive once again into the madness of Fear and Hunger. But better this time, trust. The gameplay loop of Fear and Hunger is what I think the most integral part of the game. Upon hours, dying over and over again, but learning something every single time. That's the core gameplay of Fear and Hunger, failure and rebirth. You fail and try again. You know, to put it simply, trial and error. But a lot more error in this game. There's gonna be a lot of error, trust me. You'll be dying a lot to very random things or enemies all the time. Every enemy you'll encounter in the game will kill you at least a couple of times before you realize how to fight them. Like, take for example the regular prison guard, who clapped me both figuratively and literally more than a few times when I first started the game. I won't lie to you. I got that death cutscene for the failed coin flip. Shit's tragic. But over time I realized that if you target the right arm guard, then cut off the left arm and the stinger, they're practically unable to do anything to you. They're literally just like a slab of meat just staring, and they can't attack you, so you can just like cook them. It's really rewarding, honestly, being able to finally kill an enemy in this game after you've been getting like literally like actually getting clapped. Like, not even a joke, like dead ass, you're getting clapped by enemies in this game. And like, you learn all that from trial and error, man. Like I said earlier, this game is trial and error. And every item in the game is randomized, so you can have an amazing run with great items or just lose it all from one simple mistake by fighting an enemy you really don't have to fight. And that's the mindset a lot of people come into with this game. They try to play it like a regular indie, you feel me? Like how you would play Undertale. Well, I guess Undertale is a bad example because you're not supposed to kill every enemy in Undertale either. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not supposed to kill every enemy you see in the game, otherwise you're just gonna get clapped. You're gonna waste resources, waste time, and just overall, it's never worth it to fight like every enemy in the game. And you don't really learn that until you've like gotten fucked a good couple of times. And honestly, I think that's my favorite part of the game besides just in general the themes and aesthetics. This game looks beautiful even though it's just a bunch of pixels on the screen. The hand-drawn art in the title screen is a really great example. It looks immaculate. They did my man Lagarde amazingly in the title art, man. He looks majestic. Truly the Griffith clone, if I do say so myself. The art style in general is really like eerie, and I like it a lot. The dungeons, at least the upper floors, I think, are so haunting to walk through time after time because you never know what might be around the corner. And if it's Elite Guard, you know you're cooked. You're dead immediately. Not gonna lie, you see an Elite Guard, man? Turn around. Don't go that way, man. Turn around. Leave immediately. Escape to safety, bro. Oh my god. Actually, like, genuinely one of the worst enemies in the game. Like, no bullshit. And you encounter them so damn early. Like, they're just put to punish you for, like, playing the game at that point, I think. Because it's actually ridiculous how much damage they do. And the fact they can break bones permanently. You can't fix a broken bone in this game, chat. If you get a broken bone, that bone is broken on that character for the rest of the entire damn game, bro. And it can cut off your limbs, and you can't get limbs back either. You'll just be sitting there with one arm. Actual run-killing enemy at the very start of the game is ridiculous, I won't lie to y'all, but hey. That learning curve, man, you actually don't have to fight an Elite Guard a single time if you really know what you're doing in the upper floors. Alright, so anyway, let's talk about the 4 characters you can play as at the start of the game. So we got Kahara, a mercenary, Dars, a female knight, Enki, a dark priest twink, and Ragnvaldr, the outlander. Kahara is canonically a slut, and I think he's my favorite character for that. Dars is like Casca a lot to me, with her relationship with Lagarde. It's giving similarities, and unfortunately you cannot play as Lagarde, which makes sense because he's like the prophesized chosen one type shit. You'll see once you play the game, you'll understand why he's so important. All 4 of them have different intros when you click on them at the start, and you're able to get different skills during the intro section screen. Me personally, I always go Kahara because I like him a lot. He's my favorite to play as. Lockpicking is such a lifesaver, man. Especially in like the jail where you have like no beds, you can just open all those doors, get all them beds. Even though like Ragnvaldr or Dars are like probably 10 times stronger. He's just like, I like cunning characters, you feel me? Well, I do like super strong characters, but I like ones that have like a little, I don't know how to put it, like a little flavor. A little flavor, you feel me? And I feel like Kahara got that. All the characters do, most definitely, but I think Kahara for me is my personal favorite. Probably next to Nashra. He's really funny. You can encounter him later. He's like actually one of the funniest characters in the game, even though this game really isn't supposed to be funny at all. His dialogue, man, he's just something for sure. He's something. I also really like that when you select a character, you go through like this whole entire explanation about who they are, and you get to choose and embody them once you pick their skills. It's a really cool detail they really didn't have to add for real, that just further immerses you into the world of Fear and Hunger. Once you open up in the game and go through all that, you're put straight into the entrance to the dungeons, bro. Straight, just shoved in there. No lube, nothing, bro. You're just shoved into the game, chat. To the game. Let's lock in to the game. And unbeknownst to me and most people who play the game for the first time, you can, in fact, get murdered not even 5 minutes into the game by dogs that will spawn if you take too long at the starting area. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little unfair. like I'm not even going bullshit. Like, I mean, to be fair, like the game tells you like 3 times that there's like dogs coming closer and you hear the barking. So I'm not gonna lie, if you didn't take that as a sign to get the fuck out of there, you might just be slow. And honestly, I am slow, so it makes sense as to why I did that. Not just once, but twice. My first time playing this game, I died to those damn dogs twice. It's okay. It's a universal experience for like most people who play Fear and Hunger. Like a lot of us died to those fucking dogs at the very start. But anyway, the dogs have like a massive, well, not massive, but it's like a cool little lore detail once you get like at the very end of the game. You found out like who sent them after you type shit. It's really cool. You'll find out later once you get to the end of the game. Once you get to Mahab. I think the challenge makes the learning curve a lot more rewarding once you finally understand what's going on, and how to keep your sanity up, and how to keep your hunger up, and what items cure what ailments, and how to kill certain enemies without losing limbs, and all of the shit like that. It makes it really worth playing. I spent hours upon hours researching this game too when I first played it, and I'm not gonna lie, bro, that wiki saved lives, bro. Saved my runs. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I had that shit in a second tab when I was playing at all times, so I could just look something up real quick. Oh, Passages of Mahab? Yeah, what is that? Let me look this up in the wiki real quick. Demon Seed? Oh, what is that? Yeah, let me look up in the wiki real quick. Oh, Grogoroth? Who is that? Let me look that up in the wiki real quick. Like, that shit was so handy, bro. Honestly, I don't understand the hate with like people playing with guides while playing a game. Like, who give a fuck? As long as they're playing the damn game and enjoying themselves, who give a fuck for real? If they use a guide or not, I don't really care. I think it's low-key necessary, like having a sort of guide, or like, I'm not gonna lie, playing Fear and Hunger with somebody, like while you're watching them play it in a Discord call, is like a peak experience. And it's just so fun. It's so fun seeing people experience something you love and cherish like that. And inevitably, because it's Fear and Hunger, get clapped by said thing, but you know, still decide to trot on and overcome the game's skill gap. So next up, I'm going to talk about all the sections in the dungeon. So first, there's the upper floors you start on, where the only enemies will be prison guards and priest guys who are like chanting, and like they're like, oh no. It's very creepy. The soundtrack's very ominous, and it makes for a very terrifying experience while playing, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty freaky. There's also a little hermit guy whose name, genuinely his name is Torturer, and it's spelled like Torturr, like torturer, like, you know. And he is in fact the dungeon's torturer. Ain't that crazy? Who would have thought, for real? Like, dude named Torturer? No, surely he's like a knight or something, like a holy knight for me. No, yeah. Just don't get caught by that guy. Definitely don't let that happen to you. I made the mistake of letting that happen one of my first runs, and suffice to say, I have to murder him every single run subsequently after that. Like, he has to die in every run I play now. He has to get got immediately, as indubitably he has to die. Actually, the first area-ish, before the upper floors, you're supposed to be going to the left when you first start the game. The door to the left. You're supposed to be going down there to the basement, which is like the quote-unquote tutorial of Fear and Hunger. Easiest enemies in the game down there that don't really have any debilitating. That's a lie. They do have debilitating attack, but that's every enemy in the entire fucking game has a debilitating attack that can ruin your run or just kill you. So yeah, get used to that. Super fun. That area is supposed to be the tutorial. There's mushrooms all around the floor. The enemies down there are called Maniba. They're like weird octopuses with like freaky, like puffy heads that like can infect you with shit, with worms. So you have to like use a worm juice to get them out of your system. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Like even for a starting area, like why are you putting worms in me, man? Like you can't just do regular damage. No, you have to inject me with your semen worms type shit. Like what? Like you couldn't just have them do regular damage? I'm not gonna lie, this game extra. I'm kidding, but you know what I'm saying. Like why the first enemies in the game, like even the dogs technically are sometimes the first enemy, they inflict bleeding. Like are you dead ass? Can we get an enemy in the game that doesn't inflict anything onto you or try to touch you? Like come on, bro. That's not a boss, I mean. But like every regular enemy, I'm not gonna lie, they just be doing too much, bro. But it's still cool. I mean, it makes sense for like the characters, you feel me? Because they're all like monsters like that are severely malformed. Yeah, malformed is the word. That are severely malformed because of the dungeon and like the horrors that hide underneath it. Going back to the Black Witch, instead of getting off track for like the 30th fucking time like I always do in every one of these videos. But hey, that's what you watch me for. Incoherent yapping and a bit of deranged autism mixed in, you know, autistic love mixed in there. But anyway, to escape the Black Witch, you literally just walk. Literally walk forward, man. Walk. That's how you escape her pseudo boss fight, I guess you would say. You can encounter her a lot later into the game if you really want to actually fight her, but her soul is actually really good. I think it's the one that inflicts poison or something like that. Damage over time in this game is actually broken as hell. Poison is great. I'm not sure if fire is that good, but I know poison's really good. But anyway, yeah, Black Witch is cool. It's a very interesting encounter once you first have it happen. You'll start like tweaking out, be like, what the fuck, I just fell to the fucking floor and I'm somewhere in like a cavern with this lady running around me screaming and laughing. It's really cool. I like it a lot. It's just one of the many like abstract moments about Fear and Hunger that, you know, only serve to more immersify you into the madness of the world and of the gameplay itself, really. But anyway, you continue downwards, you'll be in the level 2 basement. There's another boss here, Iron Shakespeare, big iron guy who's like possessed or something. I don't know his fucking lore. He's a giant Shakespeare of armor who like slams fire at you and shit. His soul is really good. All boss souls are actually really good except for a few. Kay the Mother's is dog shit, but all the rest in the game are pretty good, I think. Anyway, yeah, Iron Shakespeare, he's okay. He's a really cool boss in concept, but you know, execution, he's all right. He's a cool boss fight, I guess. Like he's not all that. I like the way he stalks around that area. He just constantly walks around trying to get you, cause he knows you'll be walking around there, cause there's so many damn items to loot. So he's just waiting for you to slip up and like grab you. You feel me? And like slam you into the wall. Anyways, if you continue to your right, past the Iron Shakespeare, his little hallway, you'll find an NPC, Sir Seymour. He's pretty cool. He has like a very Dark Souls reminiscent quest line. And a lot of the quest lines in this game are very Dark Souls reminiscent because they're absolutely hell to follow. And the game does not tell you how to follow said quest whatsoever. The characters don't mention anything. There's no like books or anything that'll tell you how to do the quest. No, you just have to like like I said, trial and error, man. Talking to a character could get them killed and ruin their quest line. Like it's actually crazy. You definitely need guides for the quests in this game. So there's only a couple. Yeah, there's only like a handful of surrounding NPCs. But yeah, for y'all Dark Souls or like Souls fans in general, man, y'all gonna fuck with this game heavy. You love dark fantasy, you love Berserk, you gonna love Fear and Hunger, man. I promise. Trust. Lock in and play the game. I promise it'll be worth it, man. Anyway, continue through the main entrance, make it to the courtyard after finding a mock-up book and placing it into the wall. You also meet Enki there in that library. He'll be a bitch to you as per usual. As average twink attitude, actually. His lore is pretty cool. His ending's pretty cool. Everything about him is pretty cool. I like all the characters in this game a lot. Anyway, go out to the courtyard. There's a dude saying how he wants to be a butterfly. Very weird creature. I don't know the significance of that guy. It's something about the god of the depths, which is one of the gods in the game, one of the old gods. There are new gods and the old gods. The god of the depths is one of the old gods that I believe created the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. I believe that's the one who did that. But yeah, he controls everything in the dungeons, makes crazy people, you know, makes prisoners into monsters, shit like that. It's honestly a really great concept to have, like, I don't know, a god of sorts. But yeah, to have him create malformed monstrosities of prisoners and subject them to eternal torment in the dungeons of Fear and Hunger is just overall a really great concept that I like a lot. It's very intriguing, and there's a lot of ways you could explore that said concept, and I think they do it really well in this game. Like, they really do fully explore that shit. Like, there's some crazy enemies, crazy bosses in this game. Honestly, the scale of the world in Fear and Hunger is the dungeons itself, not even the dungeons. The whole world is insane, man, for how, like, short this game can be, how little this game can seem to be. Enki, yeah, he's a bitch, but it's okay because he's hot and he's a twink. Anyway, go forward. There's the butterfly guy. Ragnarvalder will actually jump scare you by shooting an arrow at you. And it'll be like, are you evil? You gotta be like, yes or no, I'm not evil. And it doesn't really matter which option you choose anyway. But yeah, exhaust all his dialogue here. He'll move somewhere else, like a Dark Souls NPC. And anyway, to the very left and up, there is a certain ritual happening. Continue forward, there's the thicket. It's like a giant tree. It's like what is it explained as in the lore? It's the guts of the god of the depths. So basically you're inside of a god in the thicket. Yeah, there's some mumblers down there. They're very interesting. If you have Moonless on your team, they're very annoying because she, without fail, every single time bites these damn things on their head. And when you blow up their head, attack their head, it explodes onto your character and therefore poisons your entire party. In Moonless, God, I love Moonless, but God, good God, Moonless. She does it every time without fail, man. Every time. But it's okay. She's a puppy. I love her. She can do no wrong. Moonless is like the community's child in this game. Like, their comfort character is the fucking dog and not like the human child, which is understandable once you see what happens with that human child. But yeah, going back, before you go to the courtyard, you can go to the right. You can find the child there, the girl. She's very important lore-wise. Other than that, she's fucking useless. She's literally just to serve as a meat shield, and even when you can give her a weapon, it does max 30 damage, so yeah, she's practically useless and only, you know, used for lore reasons if you want to get a certain ending, at the very end of the game. Or you could actually trade her to, a not-so-nice person in the under area. Don't do that. That's not very nice if you do that. That's actually insane. But I mean, do it once. You know, just to see, you know, you gotta try everything out in this game. Just do it once and then never do it again, because you're gonna have to suffer the consequences of your actions. Oh, also, I didn't mention the human Hydra, which you can encounter in the area where you find Torturer. The human Hydra is, you know, what it sounds like. It's a ton of human heads mashed together into a giant amalgamation of talking heads that just sits. And you can interact with it, or you can kill it. And if you interact with it, it'll tell you to bring fresh girl meat. Give us the girl, dickhead. Quote unquote. From the human Hydra. Don't feed the girl to the human Hydra, please. For the love of God. Don't feed the girl to the human Hydra. It's not even worth getting, like, the whole 100% type shit for that. Just don't do it. Don't do it, man. Killing the human Hydra gives you nothing either, by the way. They just shit talk you the entire time, which is honestly hilarious because they don't fight back whatsoever. They just take it and call you a bitch while you're doing it. Anyway, continuing onwards. Actually, I didn't mention the skill tree. There is a hexen you can find. You have to open the door with a purifying talisman, and you unlock a hexen. That's technically the skill tree of Fear and Hunger, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. Most people in the community, me included, agree that the skill tree in this game is dog shit. terrible. Actually terrible dog shit, shit. It's horrible. This game was made by very few people. So I kind of can let it pass, but man, the skill tree is terrible. You have to gather souls from dead enemies by acquiring soul stones. First of all, you have to have soul stones to get the souls from enemies that you've killed to level up. But then even then, you can't even get the skills you want, because to get the skill you want, you have to have said affinity with said god affiliated to said skill. Like, what? Like, it was a tongue twister of me even explaining it. How do you expect people to know that in the game with no info whatsoever telling people how to use it? Like, going into this game blind is actually hell. Like, genuinely, you have to have, like, the wiki up or something, because nobody is ever going to figure that out on their own without, like, immense amount of hours, which can just be unfun at that point. You can only increase your affinity at ritual circles or at statues of gods that you can pray to, or engaging in said rituals like the one in the courtyard that will not be named. The ritual that will not be named. And a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't want to do them, obviously, first run, because it's a little scary. The rituals, yeah. You have to do them multiple times to really gain enough experience to get the whole skill tree unlocked. And every time you do it after the first time, it's a coin flip. So you can die instantly doing it more than once if you fail the coin flip, and just it's so bad. It's so terrible. Like, I love this game, but man, that skill tree is horrid. Anyway, after the thicket, there'll be the lowest level in the dungeon, and you can find Lagarde down there, our shining princess, Griffith himself, in a cage. And usually at first people's playthrough, he'll be dead. He'll have his throat slit by one of the guards, presumably. Probably by the elite guard that stalks outside of his door. And yeah, that's the end of your run. The whole reason you came here, half of the character's reasons for coming into the dungeon in the first place, and experiencing all this hell and torment and suffering for this man, and he'll be dead. Including the player themselves engaging in all this suffering and torment. Yeah, he'll be dead. See, the thing is, it's like a gimmick, you know? You have to get there within 30 minutes of the game, which means you can't save, because saving progresses time forward. So you can't save before getting there. You just have to bolt down from the prisons to the underground area, through the thicket, and then all the way down to his cell. In 30 minutes, mind you, for him to be alive. But yeah, most people don't do Lagarde's route on their first playthrough, and I honestly think that's a better way. Getting, like, the D ending on your first playthrough, or the one with the girl, is fine. That's what most people do. The other endings are for, you know, people who want to do it multiple times, get every ending in the game like that. Lagarde's ending is really great, though. Like, I think it may be my favorite, besides the girl's ending, and obviously the character's S endings are great. But yeah, this is probably my favorite ending. Anyway, after you see that, you can go back down into the mines. It'll be a different area that's been blocked off previously. You can find Nostramus here. It's one of the characters, NPCs in the game you can talk to, that also have a lot of lore implications once you find out more. There's also a boss in the mines. Multiple bosses. There's the salmon snake, and there's the knight that's guarding Nostramus's door. Those two, pretty easy bosses, I think. Not too hard. Salmon snake's just annoying, big health pool, but he doesn't do that much damage. Cave Mother is in the area right before you get to the mines if you go down the regular way from the jail cell through the meat pit. Yes, there is an area called the meat pit. You'll see why it's called the meat pit when you see it. Yeah, you go down there, you flip a switch in the jail, elevator opens up in the meat pit, you go down that elevator, then you're down in that area. That's where you can trade the girl to a certain someone, Pocket Cat. He's definitely a guy. Down here is the Cave Mother, a boss, the one that I said gives the really shitty soul earlier. She, the Cave Mother, is one of the only bosses in the game that has a second phase besides, you know, the very late game bosses. So she's the first early boss you'll encounter with the second phase. She's okay. She's really annoying. Has a lot of attacks that'll permanently mutilate your character, which is very annoying. She summons in ads, which is also very fucking annoying. Just overall, a very annoying boss fight that actually you can avoid completely. You can literally walk past her. The thing that triggers her boss fight is you picking up her shinies from her nest. So she's like supposed to be like a bird type thing. So if you take shinies from her nest, she'll be very upset. And if you break her egg, she'll be very upset and will therefore try to murder you, like average bird behavior, as they will. Anyway, the most important part about down here is Moonless, my baby, our child. God, I love Moonless. She's a little slow sometimes, but I love her. She's one of the characters you can get into your party that's non-human. She's a dog who was like, I don't know her lore exactly. I think she was a dog that was brought into the dungeon, and she was malformed by the god of the depths and turned into what she has now. Moonless is one of the only, I think is the only character in the game actually that you can't control. She's like completely automated. She has like one attack anyway. She has like a bite and a stronger bite. Yeah, she'll attack anywhere she wants. She'll piss anywhere she wants. She's just a goat. I love her. Everybody loves Moonless. If you get Moonless killed, I'm not gonna lie, we might just have to get rid of you. I'm kidding. It's hard to keep her alive, especially when she has like no armor or anything like that. But her upside is she cannot lose her mind due to sanity, because she was like born into the depths of the dungeon, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, the section after that would be the mines. I already talked about the mines. I also forgot to mention Crow Mauler will spawn in the mines. He is definitely a character. Definitely a boss that exists in the game is what I can say right now. He's very annoying. I'm gonna put it plain. He's very annoying and very scary. He has like the Mr. X mechanic where he like follows you throughout the entire game if you don't kill him. He'll just continue to follow you and try to kill you throughout the entire game, mind you, until eventually you encounter him, because he likes to block off the exit of whatever area you came in usually. He's an asshole like that. But his lore is really cool, actually. There's like logs all around that were written by him, or his past self before he got a crow head. Yeah, it's cool to read. Usually you'll pick those up. You'll pick one of them up like at the very start, actually. Thank God I'm not in those dungeons, man. If I was in the dungeons of Fear and Hunger, I won't lie to you, I would just have to off myself. Like, no bullshit. I'm not going through that. Who do they think I am, man? Also, fun fact, if you use Walk on Water, a skill which you'll get very late in the game, in the area with the salmon snake, you will see a very cool lore area, and you'll get some cool lore by talking to someone back there, you feel me, when you play the game yourself, because you will play the game yourself. You will be playing Fear and Hunger for yourself, trust. This video will convince you to play Fear and Hunger. Anyway, as you trot forward through the mines and torment, you will find a village, actually, of these guys that are called cave dwellers. They worship the god of the depths. Basically, the whole reason you're down there is supposed to get a cube that'll open a big door down by where you find the guard, and that's where you progress into the end area of the game. So yeah, they're all pretty nice, at least for the time being. They won't aggro you, unless you go straight to the left of entering this area, will be aggroed and will try to kill you. Average Fear and Hunger village. Average villagers in Fear and Hunger, actually. So as terrible as it sounds, me personally, I just ignore her. I, see it, turn my ass back around, as one would put it. I leave, I dip, because, I like Darce and all. She's just not my favorite to have, in my ideal party. And I really don't like aggroing that entire village, because it's also a very, early merchant down there that you can get stuff from and come back to get. So I really don't like doing that. Especially after you kill the salmon snake and you have the crown. You put that crown on, they're all bow to you. You're like their king, man. Why would I want to sabotage that? And I can take the cube without them getting mad anyway. And I can just have them there and chill. But yeah, save Darce if you want. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna have to kill the entire village anyway if you haven't killed the salmon snake. Anyway, the next area is Mahab, the Endless City. The final area of the game of Fear and Hunger. Now, I would love to go in detail about this area, but honestly, I might not talk about it at all, because I don't want you guys have to have any image of it. I would rather have you experience this entire thing for yourself and see the Endless City for yourself. But I'm gonna sprinkle in a little bit of info there because I want to yap about it anyway, because I love it, and it's my favorite area of the game, as is a lot of other people's. Anyway, the whole mechanic of this area is you can go into the past using a teleporter that'll take you into the past. And it's a really cool concept, actually. The whole thing is certain areas are unlocked in the past and they're locked in the future, so you have to go from the future to the past to traverse the entire city once and then traverse it again in the present. You change things in the past to make them, you know, accessible in the present. And it's really cool. I like it a lot. I've never seen that done in like an RPG Maker game, except maybe like Cat in the Box, but that's a lot different. I love Cat in the Box, by the way. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Play Cat in the Box. This is a Cat in the Box plug. Play Cat in the Box, please. It's a peak RPG Maker game, please. There's a lot of bosses here. All the main bosses are here. They're all, you know, related to the lore. I won't spoil who they are. But they're all really cool. I like them a lot. All the end bosses in this game are just magnificent. They're great. The themes, great. Structure, great. Lore, great. Importance, great. All of the above, great. I like them a lot. Especially a certain Grandma. She might be my favorite boss in the game. Not to fight, absolutely not. God, she is a terror. A terror, a bane of my existence. Every playthrough to fight, man. Holy God, I hate her. But I also love her lore-wise, because she's just a granny, man. You'll see what I'm talking about once you play it. Anyway, you meet like almost every god canonically in the game here in Mahab, because it's supposed to be the ancient city the gods built, you know, in the past. So you meet a lot of them there in the past and present, whatever. You talk to them, blah blah blah. Figure out what ending you're doing. There's a lot of secrets here you can open up. Nashra will talk your head off here. Get it? Because he's a head. Talk your head. Anyways, as I was saying, and no more corny jokes allowed, I understand. The end game is very cool. I love Mahab a lot. The theme is amazing. By the way, I want to take a quick moment to talk about the soundtrack of this game. It's very eerie, is an amazing way to describe it. It really puts you in a perpetual state of unease their entire time playing, which is pretty accurate to how your character is most definitely feeling during the game, and probably how you're feeling playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Mahab theme, I said last video, was my favorite, and it definitely still is. It's great. Something about the chimes and like the nostalgic kind of piano themes is just really good. It's not scary, but it's like unsettling. You know what I'm saying? Like, also I like to mention the boss themes in this game are amazing. And they're so grand in sound, they really make you feel like the lesser being the bosses try to make you out to be. You know what I'm saying? It really puts you in that character. Anyway, yeah, soundtrack's great. Miro, W soundtrack, man. Anyway, past the big dinosaurs, the big harvestmen, the big bosses, the big head, the big torture guy, you know, big golden guy, the big granny, the big rock guys, all of that, until you beat the game. And that'll be the end of your run if you haven't already gotten obliterated by the time you get to Mahab in the first place. There's a lot of character interactions in Mahab as well. Samour's questline is continued down here if you don't fuck it up. There are a few people you can talk to in the past, NPCs that can like trade you and shit. I believe there's 2 merchants in Mahab, both in the past, that you can talk to. There's plenty of enemies you can talk to, and plenty of enemies that'll try to talk to you, and you should quickly, silently run away. a lot of them there. But yeah, final area of the game. Great final area, I may add. It's amazing. I like it a lot. Definitely my favorite area in the game for a reason. It's amazing. The theme's great, characters are great, enemies are great, bosses are great. The overall structure and art of the area is great. The statues that are here are amazing to look at, even though you have no idea what the fuck you're looking at. It's still really cool to look at, you know? It really puts you into, like, you know, immerses you into the theme and the time frame of when this game is happening. Anyway, you can find out who sent them damn dogs after you at the very beginning of the game here, and before the thicket here. Respectively, get your get back, if you so choose. One should say. Get thy get back. If I say it in Fear and Hunger terms. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool fact. There's so much lore in Mahab. So much secrets. As one should be for an end area. There's a lot to do, a lot to explore, stuff like that. For Fear and Hunger, if I missed anything, or if you guys would like to watch, you know, a video about me covering the game entirely, spoilers and all, every area in like deep detail, you know, that's not very starter friendly, let me know, because I would love to make a video like that. I know so much about this game, the lore, the characters. I would love to just rant about my favorite, you know, S endings, all that kind of stuff, the lore. I would love to rant about that if you guys would give me the opportunity to. So let me know down in the comments if you like this video, and if I should do more yapping content like this. Thank you, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the gist of Fear and Hunger without me spoiling much of anything. That's the gist. Talked about the areas, the 4 starting characters, a few more you can get as well. And yeah, I hope I convinced you to pick up this amazing game for yourself with my glaze, all the glaze. Also, quick thing I wanted to add, we are close to being monetized. Thank you all so much for the support on these videos. I love you all. Thank you. I really do thank you. You are making my life a lot more worth living, and I love you all. And yeah, thanks for sticking with me. It's been rough out here, but you know, I'm gonna keep making videos. I'm gonna keep doing what I love, and I hope you guys will be here for the journey for it. And yeah, shout out to Wisdom, my boy, my editor. Love you. Go follow his channel. Thank you to all the comments. The last video, I'm going to make a sequel to the music recommendations video, with a few more, you know, genres and shit like that I wanted. People said they wanted to see, so I'll go ahead and do that for sure. I already have an idea of almost every artist I want to add, because I know so much different music. I love music. Please subscribe, please watch my streams, and if not, that's okay too. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for watching. And curse Discord, God, I hate it. Play Fear and Hunger, and Cat in the Box. Tap into Cat in the Box, please. Thank you. Have a nice day.